Good evening and welcome, everyone. My name is Heyam Alcodray, principal and proud graduate of Fordson High School. Thank you. We are gathered to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the establishment of what I think is one of the greatest high schools in America. For many of us Fordson graduates, we've known many great traditions over the years, from Go Tractors, or how about Oil Job? And the thrill we get when we bump into other alums anywhere in the world. If you went to Fordson, you understand it's a Fordson thing. We scheduled this program. Hopefully, we plan to have short speeches. We know it's hot in here, so please bear with us. We are going to get air conditioning soon, so we're looking forward to it. All right. We want to make sure you have time to get food and visit the classrooms and so forth. All right, I want you to keep your eyes on the many walls that are wrapped with photos from Fordson's past. You may see yourself from a past yearbook photo. Here's a couple housekeeping things I want you to be aware of. You can use your food ticket in the cafeteria. As well, I want you to know there was a cake donated by Iverson, which is delicious. It's in the cafeteria. We have food truck vendors selling other goodies in the courtyard, and there's some in the cafeteria. And I want to remind everyone, almost everything done or people contributed are Fordson alumni, and that says a lot about us. The design of the shirts, the 100, was Fordson alumni. I mean, it's amazing. We're selling shirts in the girls' gym. You can climb the tower. There's a long line, and I'm surprised. Boy, our older folks are more excited about climbing the tower than anyone. You can view the whole city from there. Now, I want to take a minute to acknowledge all the elected officials here. And there's so many of you because Fordson graduates, the greatest graduates. If you're an elected official, please stand up so we can recognize you. Please stand up. Lastly, it goes without saying that an event like this doesn't happen without an amazing team of dedicated people that give their time and energy. I'd like to give special thanks, a shout out to the most amazing committee that made this happen. First of all, Annette and Pietro Boccarosa. I never say it right. Wanda Saad, Manal Hammoud, Angela Altamenti, Mudwa Farhat, Linda Halleck, Megan Smith, Mohammed Sabra, Mike Osman, Leslie Curtis, Mohammed Bazzi, who is working on a mural as we speak outside of the media center. And we're going to have a formal presentation of it in the fall. So stop by and see that. Reagan Patrick and Lisa Kaninian. In addition, I'd like to thank John Campbell, Go Blue, and my husband, Joe Alcodray, for taking pictures to help capture the story from today. We will post a link to the pictures on the Fordson website and to social media pages early next week. And special thanks to the district for their support and to the communication department for the filming of today's event. Thank you. Now I want to introduce the Master of Ceremonies for this evening. Fawad Mockbil, a Fordson graduate, has been with the Dearborn Police Force for over 20 years and several times has won the Officer of the Year award, including this past year. He was also the awesome school resource officer at Fordson High School for several years. Please join in welcoming our MC for the evening, Officer Foyid Mockbil.
Wait, no, Foyid, no. You are the MC. You're the MC tonight.
You didn't say MC Hammer.
No. You're the MC, my friend.
Well, now I'm really embarrassed. Darn cell phone reception at my house must be terrible. I thought it sounded weird. We want you to be the MC Hammer. I didn't, Why don't we start out with the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And I think we have the Star Spangled Banner following it. Where is she? Get that beautiful voice up here right now before I start dancing again.
Oh, he looks lovely, doesn't he? All right, so there's got to be some chorus members here and former chorus members. I'm very alto, so I need some sopranos, I need some harmony, I need to hear you all singing along with me so I don't feel like I'm all by myself, okay? All right. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous night o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave. Oh, I'm sorry.
Get up there.
I am Joyce Voorhees Kennedy from 1984.
For those of you that are worried about my knees, it's okay. My doctors are Dr. Hussein Saad and Hammoud Saad. Thank you guys. I appreciate them being here. They're like they're like all the king's horses and all the king's men. When I break, they fix me, put me back together again. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of God, Lord of mercy, giver of mercy. Without him, nothing is possible, and with him, anything is possible. But yeah, I agree. I'd like to take a moment and honor all of our Fordson alumni who served or went off to war. Some of you may or may not know that a group of Fordson students went off to fight in World War II in Vietnam prior to graduating. In 2008, the district held a graduation ceremony for those that remained alive and that came back to us. So let's just take a quick moment of silence and honor them. God bless our servicemen and women. So how about this school? 100 years young. Who knows, in the next 100 years, air conditioning, you never know. Anything's possible. And can everybody hear me up there? Just double check. Can you hear me? All right, perfect. All right, I can hear you. Beautiful. All right. So what was everybody doing in 1922? What was everybody doing? If you're like me, nothing. None of us were here. Yeah, well, most of us will find out later. So in 1922, I find it incredibly ironic that the USSR was formed, right? The United Soviet Socialist Republic was formed, and here we are 100 years later to the year, and Ukraine is fighting to prevent that from happening again. So our prayers go out to everybody over there that's involved. In 1922, Gandhi was sent to prison. King Tutankhamun, King Tut's tomb was discovered, and right here at home, U of M went undefeated in the Big Ten. Outscored their opponents 183-13. Man, is anybody here celebrating a birthday since we're talking about anniversaries? Oh, we got a few hands up. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Guy Del Judas, Coach Guy Del Judas. He's 75 years old today. Yeah, all right. My youngest daughter, Elena Mockbil, she's 18 today. We're going through the eviction process as we speak. Get her. So we all have a story to tell about Fordson, what led us here, where it took us, and more importantly, where they've taken us all over the world. We share an incredible bond with everyone everywhere that's ever gone to this school. I guarantee you, if you wear a Fordson t-shirt, you could be in a remote part of the world, and someone's gonna walk up and say, hey, you're a tractor, good football team. And they're gonna know blue and gold, and they're gonna know everything about our school. Most beautiful school, first $1 million school, et cetera, et cetera. That's the pride. I think this sacred ground has been an example to the rest of the world in terms of being a family unconditionally. And what I mean is, nowadays you hear terms like diversity, equity, inclusion. We were the first to be diverse and include everybody. We were the first. It didn't matter if you were Middle Eastern, Italian, Polish, black, white, Hispanic, Christian, Muslim. It didn't matter. You were a Fordson tractor, and you were part of that family. And that's all that matters. Am I right? Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So she wants to get done with everything, and I'll be honest with you, I'm a little embarrassed, and I want to put this suit away forever. I kept it for 30 years. I looked at my hammer pants and said, oh, finally. I knew I kept you for a reason. So our first speaker is a sitting school board member for the city of Dearborn. Adil Moseb is going to come up and say a few words.
Thank you, Officer Mockbil. I'll be, since the AC is not in good position, so I'm on the board as well, so I take full responsibility for this. So I'll keep it very short. Yeah, please time me there. My name is Adil Moseb, class of 04. Anybody? Yeah? Okay, great. A few? Seems like yeah, I'm too young. Thank you. So on behalf of the school board, Board of Trustees, welcome to this amazing event. This is a historic event. It will not be repeated. We will not have another 100-year anniversary. Fordson is a special place in all of our hearts. And that's why you're here. You would not come here if it's not dear to your heart. So we welcome you. Please remember one thing only. Fordson doors will be always open for you. We welcome you. Come visit us again. Thank you.
Thank you, Adil Moseb. We appreciate it. Our next speaker, I met in 2007. I love this story, and he might be a little embarrassed, but yeah, he's nervous. I can tell he's already looking nervous. Our next speaker, I met in 2007 when he was the principal at Saleh School. How many Wildcats we got out there? Oh yeah. God love you. So we're walking we were walking the halls for an event before the event started, and I pointed a picture on the wall, and it was awful. I painted it when I was 5 years old, and it won some award. They must have felt sorry for me, I don't know. So they hang it up on the wall, and it's been there since 1979. And I pointed up to him, it's 2007 now, right? So I said, hey, I painted that when I was in kindergarten. He takes it off the wall without any warning, and you can see the paint differential right behind the picture and on the side of it, and hands it to me and says, this belongs in your home. And I said, holy smokes, we just committed a crime together. I was so excited. And we go back and forth, you know, I buy him lunch, he buys me lunch, but the truth is he's so busy that he always buys me lunch. It's great. So now the cat's out of the bag, I guess I owe you. Let's welcome our superintendent, Dr. Glenn Maleyko.
All right, so he told me to take a little extra time so we can change out of the MC outfit. So I did get him on Instagram Live there too. Hey, what a great day to be a tractor, huh? I got this from Coach. I'm honored to be here today with all of you, really to be part of this proud and exciting day for Fordson High School. I want to congratulate the entire Fordson community for hosting such an incredible celebration. Special thanks to all the volunteers and the Fordson staff members who spent months and months planning and working to make today a huge success that it is. Thank you to the alumni as well for being part of that. Thank you to Principal Alcodray and the entire staff for welcoming us into this magnificent school. Hey, we're in a great, great building. I want to also thank all the special guests for being here tonight, especially our Board of Education, and we've already recognized all of our elected officials that we really appreciate their support in education, not only in Fordson, but throughout Dearborn schools. It's been said countless times, Fordson, the first $1 million high school in the country. The incredible architecture, the fabulous library, the what we call Puwobic tile throughout the school, and so many more timeless features that make this historical site a treasure for our entire community. The walls and roof may define the physical structure of the school, but its character is defined by the thousands who have worked in this building and the hundreds of thousands of students who have sat in these classrooms and walked these halls. No school in our nation has a stronger legacy than Fordson High School. Yes. There are no alumni more passionate about their school, more connected to their fellow classmates, and more committed to carrying on the proud tradition of Fordson. Countless times, I've heard stories of people traveling all over the globe and running into someone with a Fordson shirt or hat. These connections are truly global, and the bonds are deep. This celebration is very important in honoring the staff and students who have passed through the doors and recognizing the many accomplishments that have taken place over the years. Just as important, this occasion is an essential part of preserving the history of the school and remembering those who have been a part of the Fordson legacy. A school reflects the values, ethics, and dynamics of the community it serves. And like the students who move through the grades, change and grow, so too has Fordson High School. We look forward to the next 100 years of learning at Fordson. On behalf of our great Board of Education and District Administration, I want to thank and congratulate the Fordson students, staff, and parents on your successful celebration, your commitment to excellence, and your never-ending pride in Fordson High School. And again, let's give it up. Go Tractors! Thank you.
That's better. Annette, are you sure you didn't say MC Hammer? All right, good, because it's a bit warm in that outfit. All right, so I think I already heard Principal Alcodray acknowledge the school board members, so thank you for doing that solid for me. I'm going to take the time to acknowledge some previous principals at Fordson High School. Is Dr. Yusuf Musallam here? Dr. Yusuf Musallam? There he is in the second row. Stand up. There you go. So he's a personal friend of mine, and we worked together here at Fordson for a little while. And I'll just tell you a little quick story. I walked into the office once, and now mind you, I'm a police officer in full uniform, and there's a kid screaming for God to help him. So he put the fear of God in the kid, like legitimately. I didn't want to know what was going on. I turned around and walked out. So that's it. So Paul Smith and William Aletsky couldn't be here, but they said they're excited about the event and want to congratulate everybody and look forward to see what comes of the next 200 years. And he said he recommended air conditioning. All right. Could we get Wayne County Commissioner Sam Beydoun here? I know he's here. He's got to come up here and say a couple words. And I know that State Rep Debbie Dingell is here as well. And I think that those two people, I don't know if you're coming up together or you're coming up separately. Okay, come on up together. There they are, Debbie Dingell and Sam Beydoun. I love your brother Hassan Medikani, by the way. He's awesome.
I'm going to be very short. I spoke about this wonderful school on the floor of the House this week. So many friends here, so many stories, so many memories. Hold on to them, treasure them. We got a great 100 years ahead. I love you, Fordson. I love you, Dearborn.
Good evening, class of 1981. I am truly honored to stand here today with all of you to celebrate the 100th anniversary of this beautiful school that has left an impact on all of us. My pathway to success began in 1978 here in the halls of Fordson, and I am grateful to have had the opportunity to study in this beautiful school. I want to take this opportunity to thank all of our teachers who are with us today and those who are in heaven, because we truly stand on their shoulders, and they were and continue to be the backbone of the entire Dearborn community. Thank you to my bilingual teachers, my soccer coach, may God rest his soul, Mr. Fuad Mawad, who's looking down at us today with a big smile. Thank you, Andrea Awada, Mr. Burnett, Mr. Leslie, and my French teacher, Mrs. Rosa Scaramucci. Now I would like to call upon another Fordson alumni, my good friend and Chief Administrative Officer of Wayne County, Khalil Rahal, to come up and help me present this from Wayne County.
Class of 99, by the way.
That was very nice. Thank you for coming up here and doing that. That's she needs to be recognized. She's such a humble person. She never wants to be recognized, so we got to force it on her. So there, you're recognized. All right. I met our next speaker during his historical run for mayor for the city of Dearborn, and I'll tell you what. Yeah. His intellect and demeanor blew me away. He's incredible. Three-time, Fordson graduate in 2007, three-time graduate at U of M. Worked as a state rep for our district, the 15th, since 2017. His wife, Dr. Fatma Beydoun, and him just had a baby. Just had a baby recently, Heyam, and I'm excited. Yes, yeah, absolutely. That's big. They will truly welcome the newest member of their family. The first time Fatma reaches down, grabs her slipper, and throws it at her. Thank you for our chief, Issa Shaheen. It's a real pleasure to work for a leader like that. I appreciate that. Thank you. Let's welcome Mayor Abdullah Hammoud.
Good evening. It's if you didn't know, I was a backup for the movie Twilight. It's an awful senior photo. I think it's safe to say my wife was not my high school sweetheart, because who was going to be with that guy? You know, it's really great to be home, and you know, we call this place home. My name is Abdullah Hammoud, and this was one of the first places that you could say that name proudly and pronounce it the way it should be pronounced. And before ever becoming mayor or state representative, the proudest title that I had, and the proudest title that I still have to this day, is that I'm a proud Fordson tractor. Class of '07, I don't see many '07s in the crowd, but hopefully they'll be here maybe at the 200th celebration. You know, I also want to give acknowledgement. I see my mother here. She's class of '87 with an asterisk. 89, we never made it. So I think the beautiful thing for all of you in this room is you understand what it means to be a tractor. You understand what it means to be underestimated. You understand what it means to be dismissed. You understand what it means to oftentimes be thought less than. But this is the school of the underdogs. And like any good underdog story, we always come out on top. Tractors have a relentless work ethic. We have an unmatched grit. There's a way to how we carry ourselves out in the public. We have nicknames that haunt us for life. If you don't believe that, you know, my uncle here is JJ. You should ask him. JJ was JJ. If you don't know, JJ was chicken legs. Chicken legs was formerly adopted as JJ once everyone forgot. He actually had to move to Arizona because folks in Dearborn haunted him with the nickname. Tractors are unique. We are there for one another. What makes us so special is regardless where our end result is, we're extremely proud of one another. We uplift one another on our shoulders. And if you know nothing else about an individual except for the fact that they are a tractor alum, you do everything you can to ensure that that person succeeds, because we understand that each individual person's success in this room is our collective success as a community. Thank you all so much for having me. Wishing Fordson a happy 100th and hopefully 100 more.
Okay, well, Annette, the organizer of this entire event, is threatening my life right now. And I told her I'm holding off on the raffle. I didn't want to announce the number because half the people are going to leave after this. All right, I'm just kidding. So the winning raffle ticket number for $580, break your tickets out. My eyes don't work. 528321. 528321, it's a yellow ticket. All right, just see one of the employees or volunteers. Oh, we got a winner? We got a winner? You want her up here now? Come on up and see the ladies. They'll come to you. They'll come to you. Did you see her? She's back there, middle of the road. Everybody's pointing at her. Everybody's asking her for money right now. Yep. Everybody's asking. Everybody's asking you for money. All right. Thank you, Mayor, for those kind words. That was awesome. While we're on the subject of mayors, Michael Guido was elected to the Dearborn City Council at age 23, the youngest councilman in Dearborn's history. After serving 2 terms, he was elected mayor in 1985. In 1993, he was the first Dearborn mayor to ever run unopposed. He ran and won 6 more times. He was a 1972 Fordson graduate. God rest his soul. And we have a third Fordson graduate that's a mayor. Mayor Bill Bazzi from Dearborn Heights. Are you here? Stand up, please. Be recognized. Absolutely. Thanks for making us proud. Thanks for making us proud. God bless you. Our next speaker was born to Lebanese immigrants. Like many of us, his dad worked on the line at Ford, or Ford's with an S, if you're from Dearborn. Just like Tim Horton, automatically Tim's Hortons. Yeah, the only time we drop the S is when something's plural. All right. After graduating from Fordson, he went on to Wayne State. He has a passion for theater and helping people. He started working at GDI, Integrated Facility Services, in 1998 and eventually bought the company when it went bankrupt in 2007. Since then, he has built a Fortune 100 company that employs over 36,000 people and has a global revenue just over $2 billion. After he gets up here, I'm going to ask him if he needs a potty-trained 47-year-old son. Along with many other acts of philanthropy, he has helped to provide clean water to thousands of impoverished villages in Cape Town, South Africa. Please welcome to the podium, Ahmed Boomrad.
Thank you for that introduction. Class of 75. Sam, I think we beat you on that one. Although our next guest needs no introduction, as governor, she has led Michigan through these extraordinary times. Her leadership helped save lives, get the pandemic under control, and laid the groundwork to rebuild Michigan's economy back stronger than ever. She has also taken steps to improve schools, build a more skilled workforce, and create a better jobs for Michigan residents. She's made historic investments in education and is offering free community college and job training to adults over the age of 25 and essential workers, making education accessible to those who can't afford it. She fights for Michigan every day with bold solution and decisive leadership. With that said, we would like to present a video from Governor Gretchen honoring the Fordson 100-year anniversary.
Hi everyone, it's Governor Gretchen Whitmer. I'm honored to be joining you all to celebrate Fordson High School's century of academic excellence. In 1922, Fordson was established as Springwells High with an initial graduating class of 5 in 1925. A century later, Fordson continues to be a beacon of opportunity and hope in the Dearborn community. From famous alums, including athletes, union leaders, business owners, and actors, to countless other Michiganders who make a difference in their communities, Fordson grads continue getting things done. And if there's another reason Fordson alums continue to do, it's to bring it home. Fordson grads continue to stay involved and give back to the school. The Fordson family forges lifelong bonds. It establishes a connection that lasts beyond just 4 years and beyond these 4 walls. I hope you all have a great evening celebrating one of Michigan's finest public schools. Take in the performances, buy some apparel, enjoy great food and good music, and celebrate the Fordson family. Go Tractors!
I'm going to jump around in the program to our next speaker. I apologize for not being in order, but we're tractors. We take care of one another. And this person made it a priority to be here when they have a lot of stuff going on. So I'm gonna accommodate them just like they accommodated us. So our next speaker graduated from Fordson in 1997. He went on to start for 4 years at Northern Michigan University. The Wildcats, for all you Salina people out there. That's right, Northern Michigan, also the Wildcats. God bless them. He spent most of his 20-year career coaching on the defensive side of the ball on several NFL teams, including the Texans, Seahawks, Jaguars, 49ers, and his first defensive coordinator job came with the 49ers. Coached in 2 Super Bowls, won one with the Seahawks, and one with the 49ers. I went to school with his brother David, and thank God he survived being inside the World Trade Center when it was attacked on September 11th, 2001. That's about as close to related to the Salehs as I get. Everyone else apparently is a blood relative. I have stopped every race you can imagine, Arab, black, white, Asian, Hispanic, and even Pacific Islanders, and everybody's this guy's cousin. I think Ancestry.com owes this guy some royalties. Without further ado, your cousin and mine, Robert Saleh.
This is awesome. I think the last time I was on the stage, I was singing in choir, and I was singing Rockin' Robin up here, but solo. But God, it was a long time ago. When Coach Haj Walker asked me to come out here and speak, I started remembering having, just going through and just kind of reminiscing of my time. And there was one particular event in my life that just kind of sticks to me and really is a bridge and a connection to why we all come to this school. I was in 8th grade, and my brother David thought it would be important to visit with Jeff Stergalis, at the time the head football coach. And we walked through the school. It was the first time I had ever been in the building. I'd never walked into Fordson. I always went to the football field, obviously, but it was the first time I actually walked into the school. And we're walking into the weight room. We spot Jeff Stergalis, and we're making our way to him. And from behind me, I hear this guy yell, "Off the top ropes!" And bam! I'm getting hit in the back of the head. I'm on the ground. I look up, and it's Brian Masalam. And he picks me up, and he's talking to me, and I'm just nodding. I'm trying not to get beat up any more than he already got me. But I came to just in time for him to ask me, "Are you coming to Fordson next year?" And I said yes. And he said, "Good, welcome to the family." And that was it. That was my first interaction with Fordson. And at the time, it was a traumatic experience, right? I'm a little concussed, I'm embarrassed, but there's significant meaning in what he said. I've been blessed. I've been very fortunate to not only just travel around the entire country, but actually live and embrace and immerse myself into many different communities. Spent 2 years in East Lansing, spent 2 years in Mount Pleasant, 6 months in Athens, Georgia, 6 years in Houston, 3 years in Seattle, 3 years in Jacksonville, 4 years in San Francisco, and now going on 2 years in New York with my wife, who is also a graduate of Fordson, and my 7 kids. Awesome family. So, with every move that we've made, we've always tried to replicate what we've been able to experience in this community of Dearborn. The traditions, the culture, where it's very common for a kid to pick up his bike and ride 3 or 4 blocks to his buddy's house. It's very common for every parent to know where their kids are at all times. Just the community and the traditions and the culture that this community has. And in the middle of it, in the middle of all of it, is this heartbeat called Fordson. It is everything. Everything comes through here. You look at where the history teacher could be in someone's aunt, someone's uncle. Every kid knows everyone, despite the size. The high school principal is a family friend. Teachers come here and they stay here forever, and everybody here still stays here. Somehow you're here in the seat, feeling connected to the school somehow, some way. And I look back 30 years ago, that eighth grader walking in Fordson for the very first time, when Brian knocked me upside my head. The words he said, "Welcome to the family." He was right 30 years ago, he's right 30 years later. It's just Fordson's family. And that's why everybody's here. That's the connection you feel, and that's why 100 years from now, it's still gonna be family. Mayor got up here and so eloquently talked about it, that we feel that connection, we stick up for one another, we ride for one another. And for that, I'm forever grateful. Thank you.
He tried to convince me that he doesn't use the word bro at every practice. I don't believe him for a minute. All right, and Brian Masalam beat me up too. All right, you do not want to argue with our next speaker. She has stood at the highest court of the land. That's the Supreme Court of the United States for those that failed government here at Fordson. As the first Arab American Muslim woman, and won a 6-3 decision in the Brown versus Davenport case. Yeah, impressive. And after all that, I'd still rather argue with her than my wife. At age 11, she emigrated from Lebanon with her family. And here comes the list of accomplishments. Get comfortable, it's long. Bachelor's at U of M, Wayne State Law School, completed the Young American Leaders Program at Harvard Business School, board member of Islamic Center of America, Government Bar Association, Dearborn Education Foundation, and American Arab Anti-Discrimination Committee, League of Women Voters, APAC, and 2017 recipient of the Rising Star Award from the Arab American Chamber of Commerce. She served on Henry Ford College's Board of Trustees and Dearborn's Board of Education. In February of 2019, she was sworn in by Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel as the Michigan Solicitor General right here at her own high school, Fordson. And she also invented ice cream. I need a better fact checker. That was not, I don't know about that one. Please welcome Solicitor General Fadwa Hammoud.
Good evening, tractors. He did fail to mention that I am also Robert Saleh's cousin. He just doesn't know it yet, so good to meet you, cuz. I am beyond excited to be celebrating with our Fordson family tonight as we reflect on 100 years of an iconic institution, an academic and community home that has a special place in each one of our hearts. Heyam, thank you for putting this together, you and the planning committee. What an impeccable event. So to the superintendent, to Heyam, and everybody that worked on this, thank you for bringing us in community together tonight. I'm proud to be addressing family tonight, not just as a proud graduate of the best graduating class of our 100-year history. Shout out to the class of 2003. See you, Nadia. But I'm also joining you as a public servant, as Solicitor General of the state of Michigan, and as a former Dearborn Public Schools trustee to report back to you, my family, that the foundation you all helped me lay here has yielded opportunities and successes beyond any that I could have imagined for myself, not even in my wildest dreams. Long before I had the privilege of serving our great state, I was an immigrant kid with a very, very heavy accent, and I know many here can relate. Just looking for a place where I could be myself, find myself, grow into the person I know I could become, and Fordson provided this space for me, and I know it did for so many. Fordson is the magical place that ultimately dared me to aspire to the highest levels of public service. That is why when it came to taking my oath, like was just mentioned, I took my oath to serve my state here in my home. And also, on this very stage, my parents, also immigrants, watched my brother receive a top-tier education, being a Brem Scholar, and I know we'll hear about Mr. Brem later tonight. And I see some of the Brem Scholars. My brother Abbas received it in 2008, along with his best friends Bilal and Ali, and who I see today. But the incredible thing about Fordson is not that it produces instances of individual success. Fordson means community. And you need to look no further than the giants on tonight's program and the love and generosity each of you brings into this space, and you know that. Speaking of giants, I heard from my mayor tonight. I'm very proud to call Abdullah Hammoud my mayor. And I have to say, all the great Hammoud men graduated from Fordson. Trust me, I know because I married one. Ali Hammoud, class of 98. And Ali and I would also like to report back to all of you that our children, Hadi and Julia, frequently use the unofficial Fordson tagline of the last several decades, Wallah bro, at home and everywhere they go. So from Fordson, we learn to imagine, to achieve, and to have each other's backs and each of our personal journeys so that we may bask in the glory of celebrating our community as a whole when we get those special moments, like this one, to return home to Fordson. Thank you, and go Tractors!
Who's ready for story time? Yeah, probably nobody, right? This is a story about a man named Mr. Abdul, who came to America via Ellis Island. While there, his last name was changed, but we'll get back to that in a minute. Mr. Abdul came to Dearborn from Lebanon and settled in South End with his wife and eventually their 12 children. His wife died after the 12th was born, and Mr. Abdul remarried and had an additional 4 children. That's 16 for all the math scholars out there. He worked at Ford's, and couldn't stand by while he saw his coworkers struggling with such poor working conditions. So he helped fight to form the United Auto Workers Union. And he was present during the Gate 12 massacre and stood by with Walter Reuther as they fought side by side for better working conditions for Ford families. Now back to that oldest kid from his second wife. This young man spent 4 years wearing the same jacket that the family purchased from the Salvation Army for 25 cents. He would go on to earn a full scholarship to Wayne State University and then to medical school. Becoming a renowned surgeon to the stars, he answered his call by selling his Malibu home and dedicating his life to providing medical care in the most dangerous places in the world. 37 years ago, he founded the International Medical Corps after witnessing the devastation in war-torn Afghanistan after the Soviet invasion, when no other organization would go there. Like his father, he has truly made his mark on the world, and with medical procedures even named after him. All this, and he makes time to instruct as a professor at Rush University's Department of Emergency Medicine. He was nominated twice for the Nobel Peace Prize and declined the nominations both times. That's the kind of selfless human being that we're talking about right now. I want to personally thank him for his father's role in making life and working conditions better for my father at Ford's. Please welcome Dr. Rada Abdul Jalil, AKA Dr. Robert Simon.
Thank you very much. That was a very kind introduction. I want to also add my commendation to Heyam. And Heyam, it's incredible. I don't think it's coincidence that the 100-year anniversary, you're the principal in Annette, the German girl in Barbarossa. I'm just joking. I know it's Italian. Initially I thought to myself, can I really say what I got out of Fordson? Because it's a different world today than it was when I was a student. But today, after I heard this police officer ask us to stand up and say Pledge of Allegiance, I said to myself, I can say what I really got out of Fordson. And actually, it was my wife, Mariam, that reminded me of what she got out of it. I had asked Annette, give me a list of the teachers, and I'll remember the really good ones. But it was a different story for me. Fordson, when I look out at you, here's what I see. Romanians, Ukrainians, Arabs, Yemens, Italians, every possible nationality. When I went to school here, we were all friends, and we had every nationality imaginable. Every nationality was here. When we had Easter or Christmas or Ramadan, we ate different foods, but we were at each other's tables. We played together, we worked together, we did everything together. We cried when our friend's family member died. We were together because we, in America, this is the melting pot. This is what makes America great. We're the melting pot of the world, where everybody can come and be whatever they want. No other country can say that. You can be whatever you want. You just have to work. And what I got out of Fordson is that concept, and I carried it out in everything I've ever directed. The International Medical Corps, and I want to thank you guys. Many of you here are donors to the International Medical Corps. I can't possibly thank you for what you've helped build. The International Medical Corps began here. And now we have 8,000 people with a budget of $300 million. And we're in 27 war zones. But that's because of you. When I selected the CEO, it wasn't because she was a woman. It was because she was the best. The finance director, Mexican, but it wasn't because he was a Mexican. He just happened to be the best qualified. And I can go on and on. Today we have Hispanic month. Maybe there's an Arab month. Maybe there's a German month, a Chinese month, a black month. There's months for everything. We are a melting pot. We don't need all these months. We need to remember we need to remember we are all one people, and that's what Fordson emulates. And every job I ever had, Every chairman job I've ever had, I've selected people because they were the best. I remember one time, because my last name is Simon, a guy sued me, and he said I fired him because he was a doctor, because I was Jewish. Well, I went to court, and they realized I wasn't Jewish, so I didn't fire him because I fired him because it was terrible. And so when you donate to the International Medical Corps, you're helping us and you're helping the world. Right now I have 415 people in Ukraine, and I deeply appreciate all your efforts. And I want to tell you another great organization. Thank you. We're supplying 18 hospitals there. Another great organization that is in this community, and she won't say anything about it, is Najah Bazi's Zaman. Zaman does what we all do in Fordson. We support anybody, no matter wherever they're needed. They built wells in Nairobi, Africa. Did you know that they collected $360,000 for the Lebanon blast, the bomb blast in Lebanon? $360,000 she collected. So this young girl is remarkable. She's a piece of you, a piece of me. And I just want to thank you for everything you have contributed to us, and I want to thank you for being who you are. Thank you.
All that success, and he tried to steal the winning ticket.